The river is my earliest memory. The front porch of my father's house looks down on it from a low knoll, and I have pictures, faded yellow, of my first days on that porch. I slept in my mother's arms as she rocked there, played in the dust while my father fished, and I know the feel of that river even now. The slow churn of red clay, the black eddies under cut banks, the secrets it whispered to the hard, pink granite of Rowan County. Everything that shaped me happened near that river. I lost my mother in sight of it, fell in love on its banks. I could smell it on the day my father drove me out. It was part of my soul, and I thought I'd lost it forever. But things can change. That's what I told myself. Mistakes can be undone, wrongs righted. That's what brought me home. Hope. And anger. I'd been awake for 36 hours and driving for 10. Restless weeks, sleepless nights, and the decision stole into me like a thief. I never planned to go back to North Carolina. I'd buried it. But I blinked and found my hands on the wheel, Manhattan a sinking island to the north. I wore a week-old beard and 3-day denim, felt stretched by an edginess that bordered on pain. But no one here would fail to recognize me. That's what home was all about, for good or bad. My foot came off the gas as I hit the river. The sun still hung below the trees, but I felt the rise of it, the hard, hot push of it. I stopped the car on the far side of the bridge, stepped out onto crushed gravel, and looked down at the Yadkin River. It started in the mountains and stretched through both Carolinas. 8 miles from where I stood, it touched the northern edge of Redwater Farm, land that had been in my family since 1789. Another mile and it slid past my father's house. We'd not spoken in 5 years, my father and me. But that was not my fault. I carried a beer down the bank and stood at the verge of the river. Trash and flat dirt stretched away beneath the crumbling bridge. Willows leaned out and I saw milk jugs tied to low limbs and floating on the current. They'd have hooks near the mud, and one of them rode low in the water. I watched it for motion and cracked the beer. The jug sank lower and turned against the current. It moved upstream and put a V in the water behind it. The limb twitched and the jug stopped, white plastic stained red by the river. I closed my eyes and thought of the people I'd been forced to leave. After so many years, I'd expect their faces to pale, their voices to thin out. But that's not how it was. Memory rose up, stark and fresh, and I could not deny it. Not anymore.